What's up, blockchain? How y'all doing today? Hope you got mad profits falling in your lap. Hope all things are going well. Been a hell of a day, man. Busy as heck. I had to go to the dentist and do all this stuff today. Kind of, you know how that goes. Nice to, get your preventive maintenance done, but hard to find the time to do it, right? So let's see. The algorithms think right now the market is in a reversal. We'll see what happens. Not a solid color there, so could be any way to go, right? Any way you want. But the bears don't seem to have the power to push this thing below 30, and certainly don't have the power to hold Bitcoin down below 30. And it's very nice to see. It just keeps ranging, and I see so many people that's like, oh, it's crashing. Well, all these signs are saying this, and I've drawn these random triangles on these pages, and it's found all these places where the Bitcoin's gonna crash. It has to crash. But if there was I don't know, it seemed like a year. It was like 9 months at least where I sold Bitcoin above 10 grand and bought it below 10 grand. That was the trade. And so it's like right now we're kind of stuck in that same thing, right? Where it's like it doesn't seem to be crashing below 30. Doesn't go, right now you can be easily buy it every time it goes above 35, sell it every time it goes below 35. Who knows? You never know. You can't time these things exactly, and there's too much going on for anyone to actually say that they could. Here's a couple little pieces of news. July 13th, Ethiopia may turn to clean Bitcoin mining to strengthen economy. As you should. Very smart. And where's the one that I like? Right here. Kala Network wins fourth parachain auction on Kusama. Over 132,000 KSM given. Pretty cool. So each one of those people, each one of those KSM will get 99, I believe it's 99 Fala. So pretty cool. Of course, they will be vested and it'll be staked and all that good stuff. So they'll have to hold on to it. They can't just get rid of it, but pretty nice to see. I do like that quite a bit. 1.3 trillion in the market right now. Let me show you something that makes me bullish on something. One sec. Now, losing democracies and losing freedoms, and it is never good things, right? But like in 2008, when the whole damn thing crashed, we all knew what was going on. When Bitcoin was born, they were printing, doing all this terrible stuff, and because of that terrible hardship, something great comes out of it, right? It's much like the big reggae explosion back, this is pretty random, but the big reggae explosion back in the day, Jamaica was a horrible and terrible place to live. And those people basically lived in what was close to an apartheid state. And they had the most, repressive and held back, society, and it was completely draconian, being ran to the ground by a terrible government and all this. And what pops out of that great repression? Some of the greatest music of all time, right? Because they had that suffering and they had those the trials and tribulations, and so that makes them strong, and so that gives you character, and it makes great music where you can hear suffering, where you can hear, and it changed the world. Right now we got reggae and some. My whole point of that with Bitcoin coming from financial crisis, reggae coming from societal repression, and we got this. Democrat group plans to fact-check private messages. Groups allied with the Biden administration are planning on working directly with cell phone network providers to fact-check private SMNs, meaning your text messages, if they contain misinformations about the vaccines. The relation. No, you don't want to say that word because I don't want to piss off the algorithms. I get shadow banned enough as it is. The revelation is made by a Politico article which explains how the White House is preparing to characterize conservative opponents of its COVID-19 vaccine campaign as dangerous and extreme. Why do they need to be conservative? What does conservative have anything to do with it? Nothing. The decision to ramp up the information war against vaccine skeptics was made after people were showing resistance. I don't get this whole it's just people, right? You could be coming from anywhere. It doesn't matter what side you come from. If you, don't believe everything the system shoves down your throat, if you're the type to buy some Bitcoin, the whole point is this whole thing where they're going to go into your phones and start, your private text messages are going to be monitored, and then they're going to fact check that, right? You're going to get like little fact check things that you see on Facebook, on your personal messages, on your phone, on your iPhone, on your that's crazy. That is absolutely insane. And just like, the overstepping of 2008, the overstepping of what we were just talking about in Jamaica, this is going to provide massive opportunity for us. Like massive. Like the phone world is going to blow up, right? We have FX from PundyX, which is like blockchain quantum phones that you own everything. Daisy, the very first IDO that's going to be launching on their decks, is completely, blockchain phone built on Cardano. There's also Jupe, J-U-P, one of my favorites. They have the Metis Messenger. Right now, it's only available on Apple, but as soon as it's available on Android, I'm downloading that thing. And me and my friends, I got a couple friends who are going to start using that to be testing it out. And what Metis is 100% private, encrypted on the blockchain. Everything, like all of your texting, all this. Why would you text someone? Why would anyone use their standard texting from their phone if it's being fact checked? How many people fled and ran away from Facebook, me included? Lots and lots and lots, because you're getting tired of these people telling you, oh, you can't say that, or you get a cloud over your thing saying you're promoting misinformation or whatever it is, and like Twitter, you can't put BitChute articles on Twitter anymore without it blocking them. Twitter's set to be disrupted too, right? And but I don't think anything will disrupt the monopoly that these phone carriers have by sending us fact checks on on messages that you thought were private, realizing that your text messages are completely being monitored, checked, recorded, used against you. Of course, people are going to go for things like Jupe, and they're going to go for things. What's the other? Fort Knoxter, also building, has a completely decentralized and phone app where you can, it's not fully in development, but these things are going to be big, and these innovations that give you back your privacy, give you back your data, put you in control. These are going to be big things, in my opinion. And so I want to get on that type of the niche because, just like I'm big on privacy coins, because I see what's coming down the pike where they're going to be, monitoring everything. When Bitcoin is 100% tracked and 100% surveilled by the CIA, people who want to move money outside of the system will use privacy coins. That's why there's such a, Monero's going to have a bridge where you can bridge directly across Bitcoin back and forth and be as private as you want. Well, don't forget about certain privacy coins. They don't even know you have them. They don't know you're storing that wealth. You could have billions of dollars in millions of dollars in Monero, and no one would ever know. No one would know you had it. No one would know your wealth. They wouldn't know that they could take your money. They wouldn't know you had it there. These things are going to be big, and I think privacy and like the whole, cypherpunk era of counter economics, which is the only real tool you have. The only real tool. What are you going to do? Go out with your little pistol and shoot Black Hawk helicopters? You're not. That's not going to happen. But what you can do is vote with your dollars. Counter economics, this is where the true power lies. So the fact that they're going to be checking all your phones, this is extremely bullish for a lot of the products we're in, like 2008 Bitcoin made type of bullish. Like, I see this as major. Anyway, moving on from there. Couple other little bits of news. Capital Group Division buys 12% stake in Bitcoin heavy MicroStrategy. That's pretty big. Well, the reason they do that instead of buying straight Bitcoin is because there's a whole bunch of processes that you have to go through in order to for a publicly listed company to buy Bitcoin and hold it on their books. But it's nothing for them, and they have to ask no one for permission to buy MicroStrategy stocks or to buy, into the Grayscale. They have no problems doing that, and so that's why they need some sort of custodial, relationship with someone else, because you can't just as a publicly listed company go out and purchase Bitcoin without doing the proper things with letting your stockholders know, and there's many different reasons for that, and we're not going to get into all the technicals of that, but this is bullish. that's bullish. That's a big company, Capital Group division, buying 12% in MicroStrategy. That's like them buying Bitcoin, right? Binance dropped by European payment processor Clear Junction. It's happening over and over. Binance is under attack, and it's not good for crypto. We should all be rallying behind them, but, you know, as much as we can. Ransomware attackers made off with 33 million in Bitcoin this year. There's just, you know, who's doing good this year? The scammers and the thieves. They're certainly doing quite well, aren't they? Let's head over to Bitsgap and have a look at what's going on. Let's see what we got here. Okay, I took a couple signals and I set them up on the bot. And once again, as what happens with all in crypto often, I've learned over and over that these stop losses suck. Stop losses make me lose a lot of money, especially in the bigger projects that, you know, over time, you always seem to win if you just hold on. For instance, on all the signals that I'm taking, let's go back over there. We'll go to trading. The signals that I'm taking on Binance, like, you end up holding, right, with a lot of different signal groups, right? So, you know, they gave some signals for BNB, Reef, and I only take, like, you know, if they give 4 targets, I maybe take the first 2, maybe the third one, and most of them hit, and some of them don't. But the ones that don't stop out, I would rather just hold the crypto, especially if it's a decent crypto, because over time, they usually hit, but getting stopped out and losing, you know, that 10% or whatever, it really sucks, right? I mean, you know, you're... $100 is now $90. You do it again, it's now $80. Would you rather just hold the crypto? I mean, these are decisions that, you know, each person has to make for themselves. But to me, I'd rather, you know, kind of hold the crypto. Here's something that happened, right? I put the bot in. I started the bot, set it all up, and started trading around. And then it came down and hit my stop loss, and then came up and hit every single target, right? So that if I had just not had a stop, this bot would have closed out, and with the 7% profit, it would have closed itself out, right? Same thing with this QDM, where I hit the stop loss there on Bitsgap. See, it came down. This one never did run up and hit the target like you saw Mana did, but it still has the potential to come up and hit that target. And would I rather lose 10% where I got stopped out here, or would I rather you know, just hold it? For each, you know, if you're a crypto bull like I am, you're probably going to rather hold the crypto. Well, I certainly am. But, you know, every person has to decide that for themselves. Okay, let's take a look at some of my bots. Here's my Luna KCS bot doing quite well. I've noticed anything paired against KCS is kind of killing it. There it is there. I've gone out of range on this KSBTC, but I'm just fine. I'm letting that dip in and out. You can see I started up here, and if you remember, I said I was looking to buy as much as that as I could. Bam, 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 grabbed it. It went out of range and got me all this KCS, which is what I want. I want this KCS. Dripped, but, you know, I want this to trade around, too, so I can gain as much as possible. Dripped down, drifted out, drifted back in, traded. So I'm hoping to get another drift back up, and... yeah, looking really nice. I actually have some funds I want to send over and just buy some more KCS to get going on the different, like KCC pad. I'm interested in that one. I want to go ahead and throw some into KuSwap and all that good stuff and get started in the ecosystem. But, you know, having a nice, because like the KC pad, I believe that launched and went, maybe something launched on KC and it, you know, 300X or whatever. Want to get into some of those, but not right at the middle. Hey, look at Zort is coming up on the strategies. Zort is pretty cool. Actually might use Zorts. They're AI traders, and they take long periods of time before they actually trade. BTT TRX, it broke down. I was showing you that in the last video. It had become a stable coin for so long, I tightened my grids and was waiting for it to pop. It had to pop up or it had to pop down. It went ahead and decided to pop down. It doesn't really affect me at all, and I didn't really like lose anything with it. I was just hoping this bot would pop up instead of down. But that wasn't what happened. kind of decide what to do there. Might rebuild that, but probably just let it sit there for a day and see if that can't pop back up. But it is nice to see some volatility returning back to the market. Trios BTC has gone out of range, and look at that beautiful volatility starting to come back. And, you know, even Trios itself, which is typically a very volatile crypto, had ranged out. Okay, something I want to say about cash bots and like small grid numbers, right? You see me using small grid numbers a lot, right? So right here on the BTT where I was trying to get that to range in. One good thought I just want to throw out there is using proper money management. It is good to hold back some crypto, right? Or hold, if you're doing a cash bot, right? Consider this. You take whatever you want to buy, and instead of putting all your bot cash in the bot, you put like 30% of it in, and you let it, you know, maybe give yourself 10 grids, and then let it range out. Let it trade for a while. Let it range out. Then you got, you know, take another, you know, whatever it is. Say you started with 20%, take another 20%, and boom, buy it in. Let that trade. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And then after a while, you know, you only got 10 grids, so you know it's gonna range out. But this is a strategy to kind of get some nice increased gains. Anyway, so you come in, you put in 10 grids, and you let that thing go, and you hold back. You only put in 20% of, you know, if you had $1,000 that you were looking to put in a bot, you put in 200. You put in that 200, you let it trade till it comes out of range. You add another 200, and you let it trade, and you let it trade until it comes out of range. Then you add another 200, and you do that until you have your full 1,000 in the bot running. And you may have a little less than 1,000 at that point, or you may have a little more, but you're definitely going to have a lot more of the crypto, right? And you will have bought in the dip over and over and over again every time it ranged out. Even if it, like, you know, comes up here, ranges up and then down, like this Luna, I believe, did that, right? So, you know, say it ranged up and then ranged completely out down here somewhere, and it ranged you out of the trade. You know, even if it like came up and it ranged down and you were up here ranged out, instead of having to sell some of the crypto to get back in the trade, you would just put your another 20% in the bot. And, you know, we could call it like DCA into a bot, right? That's basically what you're doing. You're DCAing into the bot. And not a bad way to go. Just a thought out there. Let's check on the, we took the only open signal on a bot that I have is Reef, and that's because I didn't use the I actually set this one up on the classic, but I'm going to start setting up the trades and the demos for the signals on varying between classic and SBot depending on what's going on. But trying a couple different things. What I was trying to do is basically mimic the signal, like with this one here. You know, you get the signals that generally have 4 different hit points, right? And they're within a range. So what I would done with this one, you know, this mana, like and Qtum, I've done it both. I set the target up, you know, where they thought that the target should hit, and then put the numbers here. So what I want to try now is like adding some extra grids down here, trying a whole bunch of different stuff. I will let you know how all of that is running. Other than that, I want to give a shout out to my man stuck in Bangkok in quarantine, man. I feel for you. What, you got 13 days left? Oh, appreciate you, man. And, sorry you're in there. Anyway, it's kind of like a hotel prison, right? Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Got a lot more videos coming your way, and uSwap workshop that's gonna be on my channel. I'll post that up there, and then a bunch of Daisy stuff. And catch you on the next one, guys. Appreciate you. I'm out.